Yo, what up? This your main man in the building. I'm Corey Espy.
And I'm Shekinah Espy.
And I want to welcome you to another episode of
My Wife and I.
Man, when I say y'all, first of all, we sorry for the delay in not getting another episode out. Life has been really, really busy for us. But when I say we have come back with some of the greatest news, we've come back with some of the greatest expectations in life and understanding for a lot of things that are happening for us right now. And we just had an awesome time attending the Marriage Mindset Workshop, Life After I Do. And when I tell you we had so much fun there, we learned so much there, I'm telling you, man, if y'all ever see this pop up in an area near you, you should definitely be ready and be willing to come to that marriage mindset and listen to some of the most incredible speakers, especially Mr. David.
Oh, especially Mr. David.
Especially Mr. David.
He had so much knowledge and everything that he said made sense. Like automatically when he would say something and he have a point, it would make sense. It was point A to point B, and it was clear cut where you couldn't deny what he was saying. And it was skills that you could apply whether you were single, engaged, dating, married. It didn't matter. Like, it didn't matter. You could apply it to all aspects of your life, especially if you're dating or engaged. A lot of the stuff that he was saying was a lot of tools that you can use, even with us being married, especially with us being newlyweds. There were so many tools and different things that he was saying to where a lot of it was like, okay, let me write that down. And then a lot of the things he said, I was like, we were both kind of like elbowing each other's around. Like, hey! Like we were already, we already incorporated a lot of the stuff that he was telling us. So the best part about it was that was like our key point to know that we were on the right path.
Right. Because some of the practices we had already been practicing, applying to our life. And like she said, y'all, we were sitting in that place. And before we, because he was one of the keynote speakers, and before we had a chance to go up and go where we want to, we were just like, oh my God, that stuff we talk about, that stuff we do, and just notes, man. As a man, man, he helped a lot of the mindset of what it is that I wanted to apply to my marriage, and some of the new stuff, nuance of it, what he gave to me, and some of it I was already doing. But nevertheless, man, it was just one of those things, especially when he's talking about, being a servant to your wife. And we talk about, the leader and, the household and all this stuff. But it was one key point that he had brought up when he was talking about, he did for his wife because it was the same thing that he would do for himself. So anything that I would do for myself, I would want to do for my wife and give it because we are one. And that stuck out because I thought about a lot of stuff that we do. Because I remember, and I was sharing at one point to where one day she had texted me, when we were talking about getting something to eat, and she had, shared with me, don't inconvenience yourself, getting something to eat. And I texted her back and I was saying, my wife is not an inconvenience. And I said that because of the fact that, and it was so interesting that David brought that point up, because I know without a shadow of a doubt, if I'm sitting here at the house and she's out and about and I'll be like, yo, I got this taste for something. I don't care if she's past it. Just her will to make sure that I'm taken care of. She'll turn that thing around, go back up in there twice to make sure I have it. So she don't even notice, and I don't bring it because I don't think it's a necessary point to bring up that I passed the McDonald's up. But a lot of times when she, which is that her favorite thing with McDonald's, I pass it up. I've been almost near the house. But I'll turn that thing around, go back and get it because one, I ain't gonna do it for myself because sometimes I'm just lazy about myself. But I know for a fact that without a shadow of a doubt, my wife would make sure 100% out of 100% of the times that I'm taking care of in those matters. So I don't mind driving past McDonald's and you turning back to go back to get her favorite, And
I love that about you. That's one thing I think we were laying in bed, and I think I was giving you a back massage. And
Jesus.
I remember telling him, I said, you know what, babe, I realized that my love language, the way I communicate to you, is acts of service. Mm-hmm. Whether it was even like this morning, I went to the gas station and I know he loves zero sugar.
Zero.
Yep,
A&W Zero.
And so every time I've gone, they were out. But today they actually had it. Now, he didn't ask before, I left to go to the store. It was early this morning. I think he was getting dressed. And I saw it and I knew, okay, let me go ahead and get this. And I saw some Skittles. I know my baby loves to have some Skittles while he's out riding or something with him. So I got him his root beer and his Skittles. He didn't ask for that, but it was just my way of showing my love for him. So he knew while I was out, I was thinking of him. Like, it didn't matter whether he was with me or not.
Right.
He needed to know. I wanted to make sure I was showing him that you were on my mind.
Right.
And even down to me giving you those, that massage. That's my act of service. I wanted to show you my love
under the voice
by giving you this relaxing moment to where you get to enjoy it. You get to relax, and you get to know at the end of it, no matter what, I'm doing it out of love. And that's one thing that I noticed, and why it was like a light bulb moment for me, because it wasn't something that I felt forced to do. It wasn't something that I felt, oh, let me hurry up and do this for him so I can just go on about my business and go back to what I was doing. Right. He didn't ask me to do any of that. I just automatically just go in there to do that because I love my husband so much. I know how happy it makes him feel, and I know that he understands this is how I'm communicating my love for him.
Yeah. And it's a wonderful thing. What would be one of the biggest key points you took from the Marriage Mindset conference that we just attended?
Well, we definitely are one, because one big key takeaway was the servant marriage.
Yeah.
That was definitely a big one for me, because when you do get married, it is, it becomes this whole partnership. You become one. So why would I not do something? If I would do something for myself, why would I not do that for the other half of me, which is Corey? And it becomes so selfless. Like, you just automatically do it. It's not something you have to remind yourself to do. You do it because you love this person. This is, you want them to do this for you, and like he just said about the McDonald's. I never know that. But I always like to I'm very considerate. So I don't like for him to go out of his way if he doesn't have to. Like, I can make me a sandwich, is fine. But I know every single time, no matter what, even if he has to go 5 miles up the road, my husband's going to, go and get what I need.
Yeah. But sometimes, even without even talking to her, I'll be like, let me stop by here on my way to do it.
Very often.
I mean, even like the other night, I was out, she wasn't feeling well, and I went to my nephew's event. And afterwards, my family and I, we went out and had pizza and stuff. And I was just thinking in my head, she's been sitting at this house all day. I know she's hungry. And didn't have a conversation. And I brought the pizza into the house. She was like, oh, my God, I was just dreaming about pizza.
I literally dreamed
I was dreaming about pizza. One of my biggest takeaways is just understanding the dynamic of man and woman and what we are to one another. As husband and wife. And I like how he broke the whole Adam and Eve thing down. I thought it was really, really a touching point. I thought it was a really big point to bring up, just discussing that whole woman, that whole man being created, woman being created, the whole stance behind it and how he went to depth. I'm telling y'all really need to get a chance. If you get a chance, Mr. David Burris, man, get a chance to go follow him. And it's incredible that a lot of the stuff he talks about. Shout out to Simone and Felicia for the event and everything that's going on. And one of the greatest things right now, y'all, is we've been asked to come down to Houston with them as they continue to tour for that. So I thought that was a great thing, a very positive note. But one of the biggest things I was so proud of, y'all, is to watch my wife get on that stage and speak. Seeing her step into her purpose, seeing her step into her light, seeing her coming forward and things coming to fruition with her telling her story. And she did her thing and even had me in tears as well as others. And it was so gratifying to afterwards to go into the hallway and people walking up and embracing you, and just telling you thank you for telling that and stuff. And I haven't, even on this show, I haven't pushed my wife talking about some of those things that she's been through, because I know in her time when she's comfortable to, open up about that, she will. And I think it's going to be a really powerful thing when she does. And I keep telling her, I said, man, once you step into your purpose, everything that we are touching right now is going through the roof, because I know she has that favor. I know she has the vocal ability. I know she has the light, and I know she has the heart of God in everything she does. And so when she begins to really talk, and y'all, when y'all see her really, really begin to talking, just watch how things go. Mark my words. I promise you that.
It was a great moment, y'all. It was. I didn't expect for my emotions to get the best side of me, but I kind of feel like that was the most authentic, especially being able to get up there and tell, especially a good portion of my story that I didn't think I would come out and say, especially to a room full of people who I don't know. But at that moment, I know that morning, our biggest prayer was, God give us the right words to speak and let it just flow out. And that was something that needed to be said. And like you said, people coming up to me in the hallway afterwards, just coming up and giving me hugs and saying, thank you for telling your story. And then they're going into telling me their stories. I talked to a lady whose husband had basically tried to kill her, tried to, cut her in the neck. And to see her eyes and to be able to be in that moment with her and understand that level. Granted, our, stories are different, but to know that we both, no matter what, at that moment, standing there next to each other, we were survivors. We were two people that the enemy could not take out. What he meant for bad, God turned around and made for good and put both of us together at that moment to be able to tell each other this testimony that I made it. I didn't let that stop me. And guess what? It didn't turn my faith away from God either. It made it stronger. So to know and have people acknowledge that and just come and say, thank you for telling me your story, that let me know that my story is something that does need to be told. And it's going to impact so many people, even if you could just do that little bit in that room. Like I always tell God, and like I always tell my husband, I'm just a vessel. That you can work through.
Yeah. Another thing that I took away from there was just the different aspects of life for people walking into the environment of one another. We got to share that stage with some incredible people talking about their journey through their marriage and different things like that. And it's just to see the influence that those people have and how to do it. Because there were some people that have been there, been 20 plus years, folks that have been there just starting, and some people 3 to 5 years. We were the youngest couple as far as the marriage years is concerned to it. But it was just incredible seeing how people structured this levels of communication to get where they needed to be in their marriage. And I think that was one of the key things that they talked about, just being able to communicate. I know with me, I always talk about not trying to be a trigger to certain things when you're walking through a healing process. And just on the level of where they were communicating about stuff that sometimes, and you even heard like the one couple talking about the couple that went viral, talking about how they mind was having a conversation with themselves and creating a storyline that wasn't what it was behind one date, you know? And so when you hear stuff like that, it gives you this insight to understand that, man, we all are seeking the same thing moving forward and trying to be where we need to be when we're seeking marriage. Right. But sometimes it comes in different conversations, different lanes, and how it's dressed up, but once everybody got to that glory point of the covenant, it was that same thing, that how they expressed what they felt and how genuine that was about their partners.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I thought it was an incredible thing. It was one of those things, man, when I got there, just the ambiance of it, the whole setup of everything, the people, the environment, the conversations, the interaction, and that was that. I mean, there's a lot to it. And I think anytime, man, you see that marriage mindset come into a city near you, you need to get involved with it, because I'm telling you, it's a powerful thing. And it's something I'm glad we had a chance to not only be a part of, but learn from so much.
Yes.
Learn so much. And we did. And people always think that I talk because I know everything. But man, listen, I keep getting more knowledge and talk about more stuff because I keep learning more stuff. That's how it is.
That's marriage.
That's it. That's marriage. That's marriage. And it's the biggest part of what we've been learning. I'm telling y'all, when we get through going through and dealing with what we're dealing with, man, when this documentary come out, it's going to be fire. It's going to be fire because, man, we got some stuff to tell y'all.
We got some testimonies, some stories.
Yeah. But it's gonna be such a relief, y'all, because the level of where it's gonna come from to the things that we're going to talk about, to some of y'all going to say, man, how did y'all even make it?
For real.
For real.
Nothing but faith, y'all. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing but faith. And when we talk about our stories and once everything does come out and we're able to, let y'all in a little bit deeper into our, our love story and our life after I do, you're going to look at things and you're going to have to be able to acknowledge that no matter what, yeah, how y'all made it through and y'all ain't crazy right now, that's nothing but God. Nothing but.
Right. So, yeah, definitely stay tuned. We got more content coming. We got a new show that we're working on called Data Debate. We're going to get that together because I think it's going to be an interesting thing to go through with Date and Debate. And, man, the next episode, man, we got a couple more people get ready to come in and talk on some stuff. But, man, we just really wanted to share this moment because we came from an awesome conference as we get ready to set up to go back into that thing. But it's just a lot of things that we're working on. And my wife is actually stepping into the business. She got her first gig coming up starting this weekend, which is really, really cool. Working on our first set, where it is. I'm really excited for and I'm really happy for. And I just seen even the work she's starting now with trying to investigate things to make sure she's prepared to go on set. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I'm looking to see this journey with her and see how that goes. And at the end of it, seeing how she felt about everything.
It's going to get interesting, y'all. Opportunities, though. Yeah. I'm learning. You take a hold of those opportunities. I'm learning that with this husband of mine.
Yeah, because you stepping out there. That little shy woman I met ain't so shy no more. She talking.
I'm an SB.
Come on, let's get that right. Y'all heard it. But yeah, we just wanted to come through and holler at y'all, man, and just say thank you for the ones that are supporting us. We thank you to our village. We have an incredible village and everybody that supports and is here with us.
Yeah.
It's just been awesome. And it's going to keep being awesome. We're going to keep getting better. We're going to keep getting bigger. We're going to keep getting stronger. And we just say, man, to anybody going through it right now, just keep God first, man, and keep praying about it and keep seeking, because it may not seem like much right now, but it's going to be much more later on.
It's going to be worth it.
Yeah. I want you to take our people away. Give your final thoughts to everything before we shut it down.
We love you all. We appreciate you all tuning in. Shout out to our people at the QT.
Shout out to QT. Yes.
But we love you all for tuning in to another episode of My Wife and I. And we'll see y'all next week.